let's look at how to find both the x and y intercepts from equations. So first we have to remember what an x and a y intercept is. So if I look at this graph here, if I have a line, maybe we have this line. And we're going to pretend that that's straight. So the x-axis is here. The y-axis is a vertical one here. So then the x-intercept would be this point right here. It is the point where the line crosses the x-axis, is called the x-intercept. And the y-intercept is here. It is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. And if we take this a step further, we think about what is the ordered pair, the point for this. The y-intercept is I go 0 on the x-axis and then I go up 2 on the y. For the x-intercept, I go over -2 on the x, up 0 on the y. And then we can generalize that if I'm trying to find the x-intercept, the y will have to equal 0. Because anywhere across this x-axis, no matter where it's at, if I write the ordered pair for that, the y value is always going to be 0. This one would be 1, 0. This point will be 3, 0. This point to the left over here is going to be -3, 0. And then the same is true for the y-intercept. For the y-intercept, the x value will always be 0. So we use this information to help us solve. An easy way to remember it is the opposite one is always going to be 0. So when I go back to my problem, I'm going to solve 2x plus 3y equals 4. I want to find the x-intercept, and then we'll go back and we'll find the y-intercept. So we'll do one at a time. So if I want to find the x-intercept, this tells me that to find the x-intercept, I want to make the y 0. So I replace this y in my equation with 0. So similar to how you would check solutions by plugging everything in. So I have 2x plus 3, and again, remember 3y means 3 times y. So now I've got 3 times, we're replacing y with 0. Everything else stayed the same. And then I just solve. So 2x, there's nothing I can do with 2x yet, so that's going to stay 2x. 3 times 0 is 0. And I can simplify this a little bit, because 2x plus 0, if I add, adding 0 is not going to change, so I can just get rid of the plus 0. So if 2x equals 4, think back to solving one-step equations. This means 2 times x, so the opposite is divide by 2. X equals 4 divided by 2 is 2. So then this is the x-intercept. Or the ordered pair for that is going to be 2, 0. And that does not match the graph. We just did the graph as an example. I know the x is 2 because that's what we got here. I know the y is 0 because we knew we had 0 in the y to start with. And then we're going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to copy down the original problem. 2x plus 3y equals 4. This time we are finding the y-intercept. So for the y-intercept, we're going to make x be 0. So I'm going to replace the x with 0. Everything else will stay the same. 2, again, 2x means 2 times x. So really we have 2 times, and then I'm replacing the x with 0. Everything else stays the same. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3y is equal to 4. Adding 0 is not going to change anything, so we can just drop the 0. We don't have to write it. 3 times y, the opposite of times by 3 is to divide by 3. So then y has to be 4/3, or you can make it a mixed number, or you can make it a decimal. So then this is going to be our y-intercept number. So then the ordered pair, we made x 0 to start with. We knew that from our information up here. The x has to be 0 for the y-intercept. And we solved for y, we said y had to be 4/3. The y-intercept, the ordered pair for that would be 0, 4/3. So again, you're going to plug in 0 for the opposite letter and solve the equation, find your intercept, and you can write that as an ordered pair.